Hi, I'm Andrea Tateosian, and this is my video submission to the 2013 Vinos de Jerez Sherry Cocktail Competition. The sherry I'm using is a dry amontillado by Lustau called Los Arcos, and the name of the cocktail is a Lullaby For Lorca. So we're going to start by using a mixing glass and pouring 3/4 of an ounce of the Lustau Los Arcos sherry. The sherry has a really nice nutty quality to it, almost like roasted pecans. And in addition, it has a very rich, savory flavor of rooty earthiness, reminiscent of mushrooms, sauteed mushrooms, mushroom broth, that sort of thing. It also has aspects of dried fruit, but the two qualities I really wanted to play with and highlight were the earthiness and the nuttiness. The next ingredient we're going to use is Redemption Whiskey. It's an American rye whiskey, overproof, it's 100 proof, and this adds a really nice dry quality to the drink along with some spice. So we're going to pour 1 1/4 ounces of that. And this dryness is really going to come into play due to the sweet nature of a lot of the other ingredients we're using, including the next one, which is Busnel Calvados. It's a French apple brandy. We're pouring 3/4 of an ounce. And this adds a really nice, it's a very light sweetness, but autumnal in nature. And just plays really well with the kind of pecan, nutty qualities of the sherry. And the final ingredient we're going to pour from a bottle is green Chartreuse. The last 3 ingredients were fairly deep, solemn, more subdued ingredients. The green Chartreuse is going to add a really nice brightness. So we're going to throw 1/4 of an ounce in there. It's going to brighten up the beginning, add a really nice spice to kind of complement that nutty flavor we were going for. And then finally, we're going to add 6 drops of Fee Brothers Whiskey Barrel Bitters. And this has a great kind of wintry baking spice quality to it, like a lot of allspice, some cloves. So we're going to add 6 drops of that. And then now we're going to ice and stir. So while I stir, I'd like to kind of explain the origin of the name of the drink. Lorca is for Federico Garcia Lorca, who is one of my favorite Spanish authors. He was a dramatist, novelist, poet, and in my favorite work of his, a play called Bodas de Sangre, which means blood wedding in Spanish, at one point, a mother is singing a lullaby to her child. And the lullaby in itself is a little bit haunting, slightly creepy, but almost prescient in its foreshadowing of events to come. So this, in turn, is my kind of somber lullaby for Lorca. So we're going to take that Footed Rocks glass that we've been chilling. Now that the drink has been stirred, and before we pour, we're just going to rinse it with some mezcal. And the mezcal that we're using today is the Maguey Vida, which is going to add a really nice smoky character to the drink, especially on the nose. Not so much all the way through, but just to kind of play up the autumnal quality. So we're just going to rinse that, make sure it coats the inside, and discard the excess. Now using a julep strainer, pour, strain out that ice, and we have a Lullaby to Lorca. A Lullaby to Lorca has a lot of autumnal flavors, so the ideal time to drink it would be in the fall, probably after a meal or so. The ideal pairing for it is a traditional Spanish dessert, a baked apple. This one has been stuffed with nutmeg, pecans, raisins, cinnamon, and topped with a little dressing of honey. So these two components, these two ingredients will go really well together.